Ooh.
Hi, Matt. How are you
Hey,
today?
Eugene. I'm well.
Cool. Yeah. So thank you for accepting this interview today. This channel is my parenting story. Basically, we're hearing your, interviewers' parenting story for the most part. So we'll talk about. We don't really have a certain format or anything. Just discuss, or I hear your sort of parenting stories, your kids, and basically, yeah. And then we share that with folks who can watch this channel. Basically.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Good. 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 So why don't we start about talking about yourself? Why don't you sort of introduce yourself, and then we'll start from there. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm well, right now I live in Oregon. I just moved here. I lived in the Seattle area for 40 out of 50 years of my life.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a new change, and right now I'm just living in a house by myself. I visited this area several times, so yeah, that's
That's pretty good. So
yeah. I was able to. I'm able to work remotely. So my headquarters is, or I work for Amazon.
okay, you work for Amazon.
My
Yeah.
office is in Bellevue, but I am able to work remotely. So, and I work in I'm in what's called a business intelligence engineer, which is really data analysis and automation around data analysis.
I see. So
Yeah, yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah. So it's good to hear. It's good to hear that you can work from home remotely and maintain your work there. So yeah, how about, yeah, do you have a kids? And as we're gonna talk about the parenting, so could you share about your
yeah.
children? Yeah.
So I have two daughters. One is in eighth grade, and she just turned 13.
Okay.
So she's in middle school, and she's part of a Mandarin immersion program that she started in kindergarten
Oh,
in the Bellevue School District.
okay.
She plays soccer, she skis, she likes to go skiing. And of course, middle schoolers, they're all about their friends.
Yeah.
And then I have a 6-year-old who's in first grade who will turn 7, and that's the younger sister. So it's a pretty big age difference, but the youngest one does a lot of swimming now and does skiing, and then is also in a Mandarin immersion program in the Bellevue School District.
I see. So they're bilingual, like bilingual school, just so they can learn different languages like Chinese, I guess.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Mandarin Chinese. Yeah,
I see. That's great. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, I also hear you mentioned about just a lot of activities like skiing and soccer. And do you kind of uh, do those things with your child, or what do you like to go
yes, yeah.
explore
I do all of
outside,
them with
outdoor
them.
sports? Yeah.
Yeah, I did all of them with them. So swimming. They learned to go swimming, but I've been swimming many times. Skiing, definitely had them in some lessons, but I also go up with them. Claire, Claire, the oldest one, I've been skiing with probably 40 times. And
Wow.
the youngest one started last year, but probably 10 times with her. Riding bikes. So yeah, doing all sorts of stuff, and I usually do it with them.
I
So,
see.
and then
Yeah,
as they get older, they want to do it with their friends. That's more important
that's
to them.
that's correct. Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
they
Yeah.
want to do it with their friends, but
Mhm.
the younger they are, yeah, they're very happy when the parent participates in
I
the
see.
activity.
So how do you
Activity.
feel? Yeah, how do you feel about they, go skiing, go swimming? So a lot of outdoor activities, soccer's and all. Do you feel that that those activities actually help them? I can see like soccer will build their like teamwork, and they're basically, I mean, exercise, and then it actually make them very strong and healthy. So what do you kind of see? Did you actually intentionally go
Yeah,
have
I
them do
think
the activity, or yeah, what is
so.
your?
I think the first thing is the kids need to be outside. These days they spend probably, even when I was a kid, my parents would complain, stop watching TV and get outside.
I think that's
I kind of grew up in the countryside where we could just go outside all the time. And largely unsupervised.
Okay.
But we had bikes and motorcycles and lots of friends on the street. So I think the first important thing is that kids prefer to be outside instead of inside. Sometimes it's hard to get them outside, but once you get them outside, they're much happier.
I think.
Kids would rather go swimming in a lake or in an ocean instead of a swimming pool. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is if you can get kids involved doing outside sports, whether it's soccer or skiing with their friends, then it makes it a social thing, and it's much, they enjoy it a lot more, especially as they get older. And teaching them sports like golf and soccer allows them to make friends and have kind of a common connection on things to do with other kids. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
so
I
as
can
they
see.
get older, like for example, golf is a really good one. It's a good way to meet people and
I think that's very social sort of sports, and then it is not that easy, right? So if you learn it early, I think it's gonna be more
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the better at it.
So try to do a lot of different sports. And then some of them like some better than others. So if they have an aptitude for something, then you can put more energy and resources into helping them with that sport. And then the other thing I think is good, especially about the outdoor activities, is it helps to teach them to be self-sufficient.
Oh.
So for like skiing, if you take them in the mountains and it's cold out, they need to learn to take care of themselves. They need to learn to stay warm. They need to kind of be aware of the environment. Don't go here because it's kind of dangerous. Same thing with swimming. You have to teach them to be safe and to take, and then if they do it with their friends, then they learn to watch out for their friends, and they learn to take care of their friends. So, and then obviously there's an exercise component that's important.
Definitely, there's a lot of benefit of having outdoor activities and outdoor sports. I think that's great. So did you have any sort of incident or episode that you kind of remember, kind of oh yeah, that was a very good thing that happened, that play soccer?
It's good to if you're trying to teach so teaching your kid to ride a bike is, you don't really need to take them to school. You just teach them that. But things like swimming and skiing and golf, it's good to have people teach them how to do the basics.
Yep.
But they need to go and get the repetition and practice and all that kind of stuff.
Get better.
So that's where the parent's role is.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of patience, especially when they're younger and they're scared. In particular, skiing, it can get really scary. Especially
like
if there's a lot of snow and it can be really steep. So a couple of times I've had to pick up the kid and ski down the hill with them because they got so scared.
Oh, you was holding them?
Like a fireman carrying somebody out of the building. Because you're on a really steep hill and they're scared, or it's above their ability. So, you're trying to get them to improve. So you have to test their ability. But so, more than a couple of times I've had to pick up a kid and ski down the hill with them in my arms to get them to a safer spot. Sometimes, they crash and they get scared and they're crying. And so it's a lot of patience and in terms of, especially when they're, just learning something.
Yep.
But as they get older, it becomes more rewarding because then it becomes more fun.
Definitely is going to be more fun, and more activity, more challenge to attack, I think.
So it becomes less about getting a small child and more about having somebody to do, to share in an activity and participate in an activity. So
and then and also can see some bond between you and your kids doing these activities together. It seems like that's a very good opportunity. So how do you describe your relationship with you and your kids?
Well, the kids, one is 13 and one is almost 7. So the relationship is different based on the age. One's more mature and One is less mature. So, but I think the relationship is good because over years I've put a lot of energy into directly engaging in activities with them.
Yes.
So, watching TV, watching movies, playing games, uh, doing outside sports and activities, organizing. So just directly participating in it. So
Wow.
I think that that's what they appreciate more than anything.
Spending time together with
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah, spending
Uh,
quality time. I
Time.
mean, you can buy them things, and some, kids like you to buy them stuff and pay for stuff. But I think at the end of the day, what they appreciate most is direct engagement.
Engagement. I think that's
Yeah,
definitely a good thing.
yeah.
So you told me that your older one is 13, so she's getting into the teenager age. And do you notice any difference in terms of her attitude? And so no, younger one is kind of is it like did you say 8 or
Yeah.
yeah? So now
7, almost 7.
7,
Almost
7. Yeah, sorry. So the older one is 13. Now she is a teenager, and then she's
Yeah.
getting into the uh, sort of adolescent sort of time. Do you see any sort of difference or in terms of relationship with you? Is she showing some rebellious behavior or anything like that, or are you guys kind of okay in for the most part?
Um, no, I think we're okay for the most part. One good thing is, we have phones and we can talk with them every day and we can chat with them and we can FaceTime with them.
Yeah.
So as long as I think it's hard for me to notice a change because if you're always engaged with them every day, um, yeah, obviously in eighth grade, an eighth grader is different than a sixth grader is different than
Definitely.
somebody
Yeah.
who is in fourth grade. So, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think
You see
as
the
far as rebelliousness, no. I mean, you know, uh, we have like a community of parents and her friends, and I know most of her parents and friends, and so we kind of all help each other out as parents, so we're all kind of aware of what's going on, and yeah, in eighth graders can be rebellious, but but for the
Oh,
most
okay.
part, no, it's still good.
Cool. Yeah, and then because I kind of know you as a friend, I noticed that you kind of have them do some chores. Just helping. Your kids are having all these chores for. Do you see a value of having them to do chores for their development or building a responsibility or anything like that?
Uh, sure, yeah. Um, yeah, there's an expectation that you participate and you have to teach responsibility some way.
Yeah,
So I think for sure chores are important, cleaning and tidying and being part of the group and contributing to the group are very important.
as a
So
family members. Yeah.
yeah, but that's probably not my strongest area.
Okay.
I'm more the fun parent.
I see, I see. Yeah, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so and then yeah, once in a while, so as they are so teenagers and 8 years old, but what are your perspective on their academic sort of expectation? Like your expectation on them? How do you encourage? How do you help them? Learning schoolwork, doing the schoolwork or anything like that? Do you mostly helped them doing their homework, or do you see kind of help them do study independently and then see the grade? And how do you sort of interact with
Well,
your
the
daughter?
youngest one is in first grade, so there's
So
not
it's not
much.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much. The oldest one, so you kind of have to go back to when I was a kid. I didn't really have a lot of expectations my parents didn't put a lot of expectations.
Yeah, first one. Yeah. Okay.
Um, I went to a private school, which I think was good, but kind of my upbringing was, yeah, we should take academics seriously, but all of the activities outside of academics are probably equally as important. you know, a lot
I
of the
see.
sports and the outdoor activities, because those will be valuable for your later on.
Yeah.
My thought is I would much rather figure out a way for my daughter to be self-motivated
I see.
and to study and to kind of target or get, you know, want to get good grades through internal motivation rather than external motivation. I haven't really helped her with their homework very much,
I see.
or really anything. Again, I think that she works with her friends.
I see.
So to me, that's a lot more useful later on when they get in real life, when there's no parent around and whether there's no, uh, you know,
Help
kind of,
or yeah.
yeah,
It's
external
yeah.
authority. So she'll have to figure out a way to be self-motivated and work within a group, you know, with her friends. So that's more important to me than kind of as a parent creating these expectations of
Patients on them.
perfect grades, because if it's my child just responding to me only, you know, to prevent me from getting mad or, you know,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
then when I'm not there, then what's the motivation going to be?
That's right.
So that's
I
how
see
I
the
kind of think of it. You know,
self-motivation. Yeah.
right. And then the other thing I think is kids watch their parents and they model their parents after
Yep.
their
Yep.
behavior.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody who likes to read and learn about new things. So if your parents see that one parent is, you know, reads and learns about things, um, or tries hard things, then hopefully they'll model their behavior out there. So
I think that's very good. This is
yeah,
parents. They
so
always model their, their parents as a model for
yeah,
shaping their all these personalities or ability. I think that's great. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. I mean that's my style. That's kind of what works for me. You know, different kids respond to different things. So some, you know, respond to external motivation. Other ones are purely internally motivated. You
Cool.
can tell them what to do, but they'll completely ignore you because they just, you know, whatever they think is important to them, they'll do.
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah,
that's how they
right,
shaping their priorities, I guess. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And do you have anything like something the particular interesting thing that you can share with other folks? Like when you, oh, this is very interesting that I observed from your child. Do you see the difference between personalities, the personality difference between your older one and younger one, or anything that kind of unique to your family or your children?
Um, I mean, yeah, definitely. You know, if you have two or more kids, they're all completely different
I
personalities.
guess, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't really realize it, but you realize that you know, when they're infants, when they're very tiny, they're, you know, they're completely different personalities. So, um, uh, I don't know. Let me think here. Both girls are, you know, 6 years apart, so that's a pretty big
I
difference.
think that's, yeah, it's interesting.
Um,
There's like 6 year is
yeah.
quite a gap. Yeah.
So, but no, I don't think. Let me think here if I have anything interesting more to say. No, I just think that I'm a big believer in getting kids outside.
Yeah, I think that's definitely I mean, something very important. And then
Yeah.
they know nowadays, right? So kids are just trying to stay home playing games, and
Yeah.
I think this COVID kind of hit it really hard for all the
Yeah.
kids staying at home and losing opportunity to go out and explore many
Yeah.
different things.
If you give them the choice between hanging out on their device and having them do something outside, especially with their friends, they'll choose going outside and doing something with their friends almost every time. You know,
Yes,
so
that's great.
so
That's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So maybe there our viewers are maybe probably they haven't, they might not have the kids as old enough, as old as your kids. Do you have any advice for fathers or the parents who have younger kids, and helping them, any advice for them to raise their children, something that
Yeah,
works
it's
for you?
impossible to do it by yourself.
I see.
So whether it's close family or connecting with other families, that's going to be very critical to happiness in terms of it's impossible to do it by yourself.
I see. And then definitely so that kind of requires for you to be very be close to with your neighbors or the friends, family, friends, and then those who supports each other. I think that's another very, very important part
Yep.
for them.
Grandparents, yeah, other relatives, anybody who you can help and get help from is good.
And then yeah, oh yeah, that's a very, very good. I should
Yeah.
learn that. Like yeah, I shouldn't be taking all the responsibility.
Yeah,
we
it's too much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely too much.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I think that was a pretty good sort of conversation we had. So is there any sort of things you want to call out before we closing the interview? Any other things you want to say to our
I don't
viewers?
think so. I thank you for the questions. I think they're all good questions, and especially for new parents. Yeah, I'll just say again, it's really hard to do it by yourself. So don't be afraid to reach out to other people and get help and share in the responsibility.
Alrighty. So, that's a great to have you on here, and thank you so much for your time today. Have a great day.
Okay,
All
thanks,
right, thank you,
Eugene.
man. Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you.